Yo, welcome to another episode of Solo the Culture Podcast. It's your host, Ha, and I got a straight sports episode for y'all today, man. We're going to get into the NFL, man, is back. Finally, we got preseason here. I'm going to give y'all my predictions, y'all, like my two early predictions, who I think going to be the Super Bowl champs, who going to be playoff champs, or not champs, or going to the playoffs. And then not only that, we're going to get into pretty much who my sleeper teams are for the NFL. After that, we're gonna roll into some individual player talk. You feel what I'm saying? The main one being Anthony Richardson and how he looked this past Thursday against the Patriots in their first preseason game. We're gonna talk about that Christmas Day schedule between the NBA and NFL. Then we're gonna kind of slide into some NBA stuff right there. After that, we're gonna get into the schedule release of the NBA. It's been a couple of teams that's been disrespected, especially with the national games. Then we're going to get into my two early predictions on the NBA. After that, opening day predictions, who I think going to win those little first couple games. Then we're going to get into my man's Westbrook retiring, y'all. So stay tuned for this episode. I promise you it's going to be a good one. And it's like that I'm living, I pray I make it through the night. As I ride through my city. So as y'all may already know, we done had a couple preseason games already start up to where this NFL season is going to be great. I ain't even gonna lie. Just off the Hall of Fame game alone, it was like this season is already starting off with a bang. If you didn't get a chance to see the Hall of Fame game, basically it was the Panthers versus the Cardinals, and they went all the way down to the literally last couple seconds with a punch in by Carolina to win it 33-30. Like, if that season of the Hall of Fame game is starting off like this, I can't wait to see what the rest of the season gonna look like, because this shit is already popping. After that, we had the Bengals and the Lions. Bengals won 16-14. So all these like close scoring games, we had another one. Colts and Patriots tied 13-13. We had the Titans and the 49ers. Titans beat the 49ers 19-13. So a lot of these games have already been close. I know. No first string starters are playing for real. Except for the Bengals, they had Joe Burrow start. He took a sack the first drive of the game, and I'm pretty sure right after, a little bit after that, they went ahead and got him up out of there. So it's like, I know it's a lot of second, third string play, but at the same time, if that's how they playing and they putting up games like this, imagine what these first stringers about to do. I can't wait to see what's to come, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. Especially for a lot of these teams, like the Carolina Panthers. You feel me? Usually they're a team that's always just bad. And coming out of last season, making it to the playoffs, I ain't gonna lie. I'm excited to see what's in store for a lot of these teams, man. So let me pull up some highlights for at least the Hall of Fame game for y'all so y'all can see what it was looking like. And we can go from there. I ain't gonna lie. After that, we're just gonna get into a couple of the scores, how a couple of the players played, and go from there. But I'm gonna give y'all the highlights to this Hall of Fame game right quick. So this video is obviously long as hell, so we just gonna kind of skip through it just so y'all can see a little bit, at least the second half of the game for sure. So let's set it screen.
Third and a couple. Cardinals bring four. Pickett tries to step up, and he is slung down and sacked. So the Cardinals get in and stop it right away. Andrew Billings on the inside comes up with the sack. Veteran out of Baylor.
Because the sound of this offense fits my brain pretty good. I like it.
32, there's the out quick, and it's broken up. That's Will Lee. Rookie out of Texas A&M. He's the fourth-round pick in the Panthers. Nice punt by Gillikin. Backs the Panthers back to their own 3-yard line. Struggles for Pickett to get it. H.N. gets beat up quickly by Andrew Billings. So, with Larry Fitz.
Me on-the-job training for something that I really wanted to do at a young age. And so you get a chance to model yourself after John Randall and Randall McDaniel and Chris Dolman and Warren Moon and Randy Moss and Chris Carter. You know, some of the
Bell and Melissa right after we watched the second-year man out of BYU. Handed off for the first time. Kiner loses a yard and back to Melissa. Now, you were one of the all-time greats for one of the flagship franchises in this league.
Well, Mike, it's a great feeling to know that your organization stands behind you. They were willingly participated in this game. Have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, Larry.
Thanks, Melissa. Slovis cannot get away and will go down back at the 31-yard line. Has gone 5 of 6 for 81 yards. And here, Corey Kiner, ankle tackle. Otherwise, he may have been going all the way. At the 31-yard line on Thursday. 3rd and 8 here. There's a blitz, a little pressure. It's picked up. And pass is complete. Virgil one more time. to the 14-yard line. Cardinals have 2nd and goal, trying to take the lead here at the 2-minute warning. Corey Kiner's the back. Slovis to the end zone. Is he in? They say,
Let's see.
this is Bryson Green.
More of those throws, or do we finally see him take off and really try to show off what he can do with his legs?
Oh, there he goes. He's got a ton of room as well. Made the right call. King out of bounds. Knowing they were out of timeouts. Did everything right.
Soft box. Quarterback throw. Another chance.
Game on the line. King, he's going to step up. Pumps, runs, goal line. Is he in? Yes! Carolina wins. King's king.
So as y'all can see, that game was pretty exciting. I ain't even gonna lie. Obviously, it's a Hall of Fame game. A lot of people not gonna watch it. It's gonna be a little bit slow. But for it to be 17-17 going to the fourth quarter and the end is 33-30, that fourth quarter had to be a damn near high scoring. So shout out to both teams, you feel what I'm saying? Carolina is one of those teams that I can see being a sleeper team. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they're a team that I can see making it to the second round or even possibly on some sleeper Cinderella stuff all the way to the NFC Championship, just being a Cinderella team. Do I personally think they're gonna make it that far? No. But I think they can make it out the first round this year, especially with them improving a little bit of their offense a little bit more. So shout out to Carolina and that defense too. They definitely got built up that defense a little bit more too. So shout out to Carolina. I think they're going to be one of these teams to watch this year. But the Cardinals, on the other hand, they got a lot to figure out. I know they got Trey McBride out there, Marvin Harrison Jr. They just paid Brissett. But it's like, it ain't happening no time soon for them. I see them having another top 5 to top 10 draft pick again this year. They don't look good. They haven't impressed me at all. As you can see just from this game alone, their offensive line second string is terrible. So they better hope nobody on that first string gets hurt, because there's no way that quarterback should have got sacked that many times like that. So shout out to the Cardinals, but y'all got a long way to go. I ain't gonna lie. Now, let's get into another game, because y'all know I'm a big Colts fan. But after this one little preseason game, I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. Anthony Richardson looks okay. Like, I know a lot of people say, oh, he can't throw a check down. He can't do this. He had the one interception. He had a fumble. But he looked pretty decent to me outside of the little one interception, which, if you ask me, it really wasn't his fault. The receiver should have caught that. If the ball hits your hands, you got to catch it. You feel what I'm saying? Ball hit his hands. He bobbled it. DB came through and took it. Cool. The fumble, he got to hold on to the ball. We already know once Anthony Richardson goes on, he going to go at least 3-4 runs a game. One of them, he going to fumble that ball, or he going to get hurt. That's just an Anthony Richardson thing. But outside of those two little mistakes, he had a decent game. He threw 11-15. I want to say he had 150-something yards, 55 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. So it's like, he looked pretty well. He looked better than Riley Leonard did. Riley Leonard still has a long way to go for me. I'm not going to lie. Like, after seeing him, especially in this preseason game, I'm not too shabby on him being in that quarterback 2 position, especially if Daniel Jones goes down. I can't see it for him. You get what I'm saying? But shout out to Riley Leonard. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, a second or third year quarterback right now. So he still got some time to learn, but he definitely not starter ready right now. Moving on to another game. So, the Broncos versus the Falcons. I know they, playing with their backups, but that Broncos defense is looking like they did last year, y'all. Already. Like, they are tough. And that's why I put them as one of my top teams coming out the AFC this year. A lot of people aren't looking at them just because of the fact that, last year they feel like it was a fluke. I know Bo Nix got hurt in the playoffs, but I ain't gonna lie. Denver is for real. Do not sleep on Denver, y'all. I'm telling you, that defense and that offense, especially now that they got them a little running back, yo, it's a scary sight out there in Denver. Nobody wants to go out there and see them. I'm not even going to lie. So shout out to Denver, but I think Denver is going to be one of those teams that they might fuck around and go to the Super Bowl at the AFC this year, especially if they offense can keep rolling. Bo Nix being Bo Nix and improving the way he did last year. I ain't going to lie. Denver might be that. So now that we're talking about freaking, predictions, sleeper teams and stuff like that, let's go ahead and move on from the preseason and let's get into my NFL too early prediction. Now, when I say too early predictions, I'm going to give y'all my Super Bowl predictions, who I think is some sleeper playoff teams, and who just some sleeper teams just in general. So let's get into the Super Bowl. Now, it's a lot of teams that can possibly make the Super Bowl this year. It's a lot of balanced teams. I know a lot of people still look at the Patriots. I know a lot of people talking about the Eagles, Patrick Mahomes coming back. All right, let me give y'all my solid top two choices coming out of East Conference. Now, in the NFC, number one's one, we can talk about the Rams. I ain't gonna lie, the Rams, that defense, especially with them getting Aaron Donald back or possibly potentially getting Aaron Donald back. I know they worked him out, but getting Aaron Donald back would be insane. I'm not gonna lie. Like that defensive line with Myles Garrett on one end, you got Aaron Donald on the other. It's like, dog. Then offensively, you got Puka, Devontae Adams, and Matthew Stafford on the other side. It's like, dog. It's gonna be an ugly sight for anybody coming out that NFC that gotta go against the Rams, period. The Rams are tough. They just that juggernaut team coming out the NFC, y'all. So it's like, I know for that second position though, you can't always sleep on the Seahawks, you can't sleep on the Eagles, you can't sleep on the Vikings, even if they get them a quarterback. Like, it's a lot of teams coming out the NFC, y'all. But my second team to possibly make it to the Super Bowl out of the NFC is the Bears. I'm not gonna lie. After seeing them in the playoffs last year, they're just a couple of pieces away with them having such a great coach, good quarterback, great receiving room out there. Caleb Williams has the protection that he finally needed, you know what I'm saying? Or the Bears, all these Bears quarterbacks was needed these past couple of years. He has it. You feel what I'm saying? That defense, it looks good. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. The Bears are maybe a team to beat. I'm not gonna cap. Coming into this year, I can see them being a 12-14 or even just going 11-6, something like that. You feel me? Like, dog, I can see the Bears going to the playoffs or the Super Bowl this year. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm never going to sleep on the Seahawks, especially with them basically retaining their whole Super Bowl team. I'm never going to sleep on the Eagles with what they can do. I know they lost A.J. Brown, but you still got Devonta Smith, who's probably going to have a breakout year this year. It's like, it's so many teams that you go to with the NFC that it's kind of hard to just choose a team like the Bears to be your second pick for the Super Bowl. But I'm not going to lie, y'all. The Bears have everything that they possibly need. Like, coach, quarterback, receiving room, line, defense. Like, it's all there. So shout out to the Bears, y'all. But I think my two teams coming out for the Super Bowl this year out of the NFC, it could be between the Rams and the Bears. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. And shout out to the Seahawks because y'all basically retained y'all whole entire Super Bowl team. But I ain't going to lie. I think the Bears can get them. I think the Bears can get them. The Rams was this close. They just ran out of time. So let's move on to some playoff teams that's at the well, let me give y'all my AFC Super Bowl right quick. So, for my teams coming out the AFC, my Super Bowl contenders there, number one, Broncos. I ain't gonna lie. I think the Broncos, this is gonna be their year this year. That offense, if that, Bo Nix come back off that ankle injury being Bo Nix, or I don't know, I don't remember if it was an ankle or a knee, whatever it was, whatever he's coming off of, if he could come back just like he did before the injury, give me the Broncos because that defense is already stacked. That you know what that defense does. They cause terror throughout the NFL. So give me the Broncos as my team coming out as a Super Bowl, for the Super Bowl out of the AFC. Now, my second team that could come out the AFC, and a lot of people might call me crazy for this, but the Jaguars, y'all. The Jacksonville Jaguars are my second pick to come out the AFC and go to the Super Bowl. Now, I know last year they started off shaky, you feel me? But if you look at the second half of that season, they damn near looked unstoppable. You feel me? They didn't solidify who's going to be their running back now. That wide receiver room, like Brian Thomas Jr., Parker Washington, Travis Hunter in there. This receiver room is crazy. Their receiver room is tough. And they got Jacoby Myers. You can't ever sleep on him. So it's like, bruh, give me the Jaguars. You feel me? If they could keep that linebacker position tight, I know they lost Devin Lloyd, But if they can keep that linebacker position tight on their defense too, I know they have a great head coach. We know what Liam Combs can do on that offensive end. He's already showed, you feel me? I can see the Jaguars winning the AFC South and taking off in the playoffs, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. And that's me being a Colts fan saying that. I'm like, that Jags offense is scary. It's scary when it's clicking. So shout out to the Jags. They're definitely my second team to make it to the Super Bowl out the AFC. Now, let's get into some playoff teams coming out of both sides. I'm not gonna break it down like I just did between conferences, but here are some teams that I think are really gonna make the playoffs this year that barely missed it last year. One of the first teams that I could see being a team that barely missed the playoffs last year that's gonna obviously make it this year, the Ravens. You feel me? I know they lost that last game of the season. They had a whole bunch of injuries. They lost that last game of the season to the Steelers. So it was tough. But I really, really think that they're going to end up edging out the Steelers again this year, and they're going to end up taking that playoff position over them. Because the Steelers, they're going to be tough too this year. I ain't going to lie. They done boasted up that wide receiver room, bringing in Michael Pittman Jr. They got a couple of defensive pieces too. So it's like, I ain't going to lie. I can see the Steelers doing something. But give me the Ravens coming out that AFC North, y'all. I know I got a couple Steelers fans on here that's going to get on my ass about that. But, hey, give me the Ravens. You feel me? I think the Ravens are a team that's going to make it. The Bengals, don't sleep on them. You feel me? I know their defense is ass, but getting a healthy Joe Burrow back, it's going to be a scary sight for any defense that got to play against that Bengals because we know what that whole offense does when they have everyone healthy. You can never leave out Joe Burrow. So let's put them in there. You feel me? I think the Bengals are a team that's going to make it. The Carolina Panthers, they made it last year. I have them making it again this year as well. I think that they're going to be a team that is going to make some noise, at least go to the second round, possibly make it out the second round in the NFL playoff this year. Fucking, I'm going to go Colts. I know I said the AFC South is going to be won by the Jaguars, right? But say if we could get that two position of two teams coming out of one of our conferences and we're that team that can have it, I'm not going to lie. I think a lot of people are asleep on the Colts. I know we went 8-2 last year and we were taking off. We were on top of the fucking world. And then everything just went down here. I think we lost like 8 straight games to end the season. Y'all, injuries. Like, injuries played a major factor in a lot of these teams losing their spots last year. So if you ask me, in all honesty, give me the Colts. I think that the Colts are going to be a team that defensively, they have picked up some great rookies, and C.J. Allen and A.J. I want to say Housey. That's how you say his name, the safety coming out of LSU. And you get Justin Wiley coming back at that cornerback position, playing behind Mooney and Sauce Gardner, which those two didn't even play 4 or 5 games together on the field at the same time. So shout out to the Colts. I think the Colts are going to be a team that this year they finally make it over that hump and they get it back to the playoffs. If not, we can see their GM, Chris Ballard, gone. I'm not even going to lie. This is the year that they have to win. You feel me? So, with that being said, sleeper teams. Colts are a sleeper team. I think that the Colts going to be that team that surprises everyone. I think that they're going to be a team that comes in and really gets the job done this year. Now, am I saying Super Bowl? No. But at least playoffs, yes. I think they're going to make it to the playoffs this year. I think boosting up that secondary has been a big, major piece of what's going on there and boosting up their linebacker position. And C.J. Allen. I think C.J. Allen is young. He's fast. He knows how to read offenses. So it's like, I ain't going to lie. Give me the Colts as one of my sleeper teams. Another sleeper team, the Cowboys. I know the Cowboys had a down year last year. But the Cowboys might be that team that finally comes up and does something when the playoffs hit. I know they didn't lock down George Pickens on the franchise tag. They got CeeDee Lamb back, a healthy Dak coming back. But the Cowboys, that's who I got. You feel what I'm saying? That's one of my sleeper teams. I feel like they're going to finally do something this year. So shout out to the Cowboys. That's one of my teams coming out the NFC for sure. Now, I know I kind of spoke on him a little bit earlier, just very, very briefly when I talked about the preseason games. But let's talk about Anthony Richardson, y'all. If y'all don't know, basically, he went ahead, he requested a trade at the beginning of the offseason. Like, beginning of the offseason, pretty much as soon as the Super Bowl was over with, he requested a trade. Now, with him requesting that trade, we haven't been able to find anybody that really wants him. Like, it's a sad case to see because coming into the league, we thought he was going to be literally the next Cam Newton. Now, we don't know who we can trade him to because nobody really wants him. So, coming into training camp, it was a lot of good things that we were hearing. Like, oh, he's doing way better. He's really going to be fighting for that starting position this year for the Colts, this, that, and the other. We were hearing that he was basically coming into himself, finally finding himself as a starter in this NFL league, right? Now that training camp has started, I don't know what the fuck is happening. A lot of people have been saying can't hit a check down still, hasn't been locked in with the offense. A lot of bad handoffs has been happening, and he hasn't been able to recover from them. It's just been a bad showing for him during this training camp to the point, even on the depth chart, they went ahead and named Riley Leonard the second string quarterback. So it's like, you're pretty much, after paying Daniel Jones the way y'all did and sitting him out for the whole preseason, we know that Daniel Jones is going to be QB1. It's not even a doubt about it. But to see him literally get pushed back to third string quarterback, even after requesting a trade, unless they have a team that they about to send him to, it's like, dog, it's tough. It's very, very tough. And then seeing him during the preseason game, he didn't even look that bad to me. In all honesty, he looked okay. He looked like a player that's finally getting those little jitters out and working out his kinks. You feel me? Obviously, he had 2 turnovers. He had the interception, but if you ask me, really wasn't his fault. And then he also had the fumble. Got to hold on to that ball. But outside of that, it's like he had a pretty solid game. He looked way better than Riley Leonard to me. And I know Riley Leonard is coming into his second year or third year in the league, and he still has a lot of learning to do as well. But I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I think Anthony Richardson should be our quarterback too. Like, just in case Daniel Jones has another, because we already know Daniel Jones, he's one of these players, these last 2 to 3 seasons, he's always ended the season with a season-ending injury, whether it was an ACL, Achilles, his fibula. It was something that's going on. You feel me? So if we need a quarterback to step in, give me Anthony Richardson over Riley Leonard. You feel what I'm saying? We can run so many packages between him and Jonathan Taylor that could be RPOs, any run package, something. You feel what I'm saying? Like, give me Anthony Richardson. I think that, yes, he has his little mistakes there, but at some point, we have to let him play enough to where he can work it out. You feel me? Because if he's not getting the reps, if he's not actually getting in the game to work it out, how can we ever fix this project? Like, if you ask me personally, I think the Colts failed him. Like, if we lose him for nothing, he goes to another team and he just balls out on some Baker Mayfield shit, I ain't even gonna lie. I wouldn't be mad at him because it's like, how could we call somebody a project and not develop them? Like, that's really, really weird to me personally. But shout out to Anthony Richardson. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like he played well during this first preseason game. I think that obviously we're going to see some more of him throughout this preseason, but I personally think that he should be our quarterback too. I know Riley Leonard, everybody has bad games, but it ain't there yet for me for him. So shout out to Anthony Richardson, but definitely should be the Colts quarterback too coming in to start the season. Now, both leagues between the NFL and the NBA have dropped their schedules. Finally, we've got the NBA schedule. So now we know what our Christmas Day is going to look like between the NFL and the NBA. So for NFL games, first things first, we got the Bears and the Packers. So I'm going to go down this list of games, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm give y'all my prediction. So now with the Bears and the Packers, y'all, give me the Bears. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the Packers, Jordan Love coming back healthy, Blase, but I don't give me the Bears, y'all. I'm coming from Indiana where half my family is split between Colts and Bears fans, and I personally hate the Bears. I hate the Bears. But y'all, after seeing the Bears and the Packers go at it in that last playoff game, give me the Bears, y'all. I really believe that the Bears, this is going to be their breakout year. They either going to go 12-5, 11-6, fucking 13-4, something. Like, I could see the Bears making it deep into the playoffs this year, possibly even a Super Bowl appearance, just like the Patriots did last year. Like, the Bears are going to be tough. I know they kind of got a little decent schedule coming up, but I think they can get through it. You feel me? Their coach is great. Like, he's already turning their franchise around. So shout out to the Bears, but give me the Bears over the Packers. You feel me? And then the next game, the Bills and the Broncos. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Give me the Broncos. And I'm gonna give y'all an exact breakdown on why I say give me the Broncos. First of all, that Broncos defense, probably the best defense in the league, right? But on the Bills side of the ball, it's time for Josh Allen to prove something, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, he won him a little MVP. But when it comes to the playoffs, last year should have been the Bills' year. It shouldn't have been nobody in their way at all. Like, nobody should have been in their way at all, possibly except for the Broncos. But for Josh Allen being such a household name and everybody talking about, oh, he's better than Lamar Jackson, it's really between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes as the best quarterback in the league, this, that, and the other. He ain't proved shit either. At least Lamar Jackson has been to AFC championship. He's taking his teams deep into the playoffs versus Josh Allen is losing games that he should have won. You feel me? We seen him go to Denver and choke. We seen him come to Jacksonville and damn near choke. Like, only reason why they won that game against Jacksonville last year in the playoffs is because of that defense. Like, and I know it takes a team effort to win a Super Bowl, to win a championship in any league. But Josh Allen has not proved that he is better than Lamar Jackson right now. If you ask me, they're in the same boat. They both need to prove that they can win in the playoffs. Because, yeah, you can say all these years he's been running to Mahomes. He kept getting put out by Mahomes, right? Respect. But y'all, last year should have been his year. Last year was a year where it was nobody. That AFC was wide open. So it's like, man, give me the Broncos, but I really feel like this is a year that Josh Allen has to prove that he's Josh Allen. Same thing with Lamar Jackson coming out of Baltimore. You feel me? He has to prove that this is his year as well. Like, they both, if those two don't meet in the AFC championship this year, it's time to start looking at their legacies. I ain't gonna lie. Like, obviously Lamar is gonna be a Hall of Fame quarterback just based off his resume already. But Josh Allen, he got the potential to possibly miss it, not be a first, especially not being a first ballot, because he only has one MVP on his belt, and after that, it's a bunch of AFC championship losses. So, hey, shout out Josh Allen, but you got a lot to prove this year, my brother. Now, Rams versus Seahawks. This is going to be a great game. You know what I'm saying? You got the Super Bowl defending champs versus a contender. This was the NFC Championship last year. You feel me? And the Rams barely lost it. If you ask me, they just ran out of time. So if it's come up to me, you feel me? Give me the Rams. That defense, adding Trent McDuffie, adding fucking Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald back, possibly. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. They're going to have Sam Darnold out there running for his life. So give me the Rams in that one. I'm not asleep on the Seahawks, y'all. I promise y'all I'm not asleep on them. But I think that Rams team, they coming back for vengeance this year. They definitely coming back for vengeance. Now, let's flip it to the other side of these Christmas Day games where it's the NBA. You feel what I'm saying? If you know, growing up, you always watch the NBA on Christmas. The NFL, they just now trying to go ahead and start to steal Christmas away from the NBA. But if you're a real basketball fan, you're supposed to be watching basketball on Christmas. The first game of the NBA Christmas side is the Spurs and the Knicks, y'all. Give me the Spurs. I'm not going to lie. Give me the Spurs. I think this is going to be a revenge game for them. I think that they're going to come in this game basically hungry, showing the Knicks like, yeah, well, y'all got it last year, but this year, we back. You feel me? We here. Ain't no more of that inexperienced shit. We know who y'all are. Y'all know who we are. And we here. You feel me? I think that the Spurs are going to come in. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to go to wire. But I think Wemby is going to finally get his revenge against the Knicks on that one. Now, the second game, the Heat versus the Celtics, y'all. I know the Celtics just lost Jaylen Brown, but I do not believe in Miami. Like, I'm sorry. Y'all can call me a Giannis hater, call me whatever y'all want, but I promise y'all, I don't think Miami has anything that could really match up against the Celtics team or any real contender out the East. Don't get me wrong. Yes, they got Bam and they got Giannis, but that's pretty much it. They haven't made any more big splashes, shooters, or nothing at all. So give me the Celtics in this one. I think Jason Tatum is going to take it home for him. After that, we got the Lakers and the 76ers. Obviously, LeBron's homecoming to LA or his, first game against LA. Give me the 76ers. LA, I don't know what happened. They got a whole roster just full of good role players or players that were having breakout seasons on trash teams such as Walker Kessler. Like, I don't have no faith in the Lakers. I don't know. I don't even think Luka going to be there after next year, especially if they don't get him some real players, another real superstar to build around. I know they got Austin Reeves, but I don't see it happening. So go ahead, give me the 76ers. I think Bron and them are going to take this one. I don't even think it's going to really be close. I know Luka's probably going to do his game, do his thing in this game, but give me Bron and them. And then we got the Timberwolves and the Thunder after that. You feel me? I'm an OKC fan. Y'all already know. Give me OKC. We done brought basically the best two shooters out of the draft, and they 3-and-D guys. Exactly what we needed. We giving Cason Wallace his money so he can come and, take that spot for Lou Dort. So shout out to the Timberwolves, but all that Melo and motherfucking Ant shit, that shit finna get locked down, y'all. We are like that on the bench and in our starting five now. So it's like we finally got another little point guard to lead the bench as well. Give me the Thunder all day for that one. Now, the last game of the day is the Nuggets and the Warriors. Give me the Nuggets. I think this one's going to be a blowout. The Warriors are already having issues with Curry out there, whether they're going to keep him or they're going to trade him. It's a whole mess out there in Golden State right now. It's really just the end of their road for their, dynasty team. And they just got to let it go. So if you ask me, give me the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets going to come in healthy. Jokic, triple-double. You feel me? Jamal Murray, probably give him 30. It's going to be a blowout. I don't see this game even going nearly near the wire. So shout out to both teams, but I got the Nuggets, y'all. Now, let's get into this some more, a little bit of NBA shit. I know we kind of transitioned, but let's go ahead and get into some NBA stuff, y'all. This NBA schedule release has finally dropped. And it's one big thing that I want to point out to everybody. Now, I know they're a small market team. I know nobody gives a fuck about Indiana. But the Pacers, y'all, they should have way more national games. And it's no reason why Haley's first game should not be a nationally televised game. Like the last game that Tyrese Halliburton played in was Game 7 of the NBA Finals, which he was cooking. I ain't even gonna lie, 3 for 3 to start off. He was smacking threes just to start. So it's like, dog, why isn't his first game back not televised? Like, nationally televised. That's weird to me. And it's not at home. It's in New Orleans. Like, what is really going on? I know when I saw that a couple clips of him come out talking about it and how he like, yeah, we're in New Orleans for it. And you could tell by the way he's talking, he's coming back with a chip on his shoulder. But there's no way in hell that the Pacers, you get what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, last year they had a bunch of injuries. Like, they whole starting five damn near was injured. But you get Holly back, you get everybody else back, healthy, with a better center, with Zubac playing with Halliburton now. It's like, dog, the NBA making a mistake. I ain't gonna lie. And a lot of people, I feel like they done forgot about the Pacers just because they had that terrible season last year trying to tank for that number one position to get AJ or get Cameron Boozer. But, y'all, I'm not going to lie to you. I am not going to lie. The Pacers possibly can make it back to the finals. Like, y'all hearing it here first. The Pacers will be an Eastern Conference Finals team this year. I feel like that whole team is coming back with a vengeance. They healthy now. And this is pretty much the same team that they took to the finals. You feel me? Except, obviously, they lost Ben Mathurin and stuff like that. But, y'all, I'm telling you, this Pacers team is going to be a team to beat in the East. And I know a lot of people sleep on it, but watch. They're going to be that sleeper team, even if they start off shaky. That second half of the year, we know what Hallie does, y'all. We know when it comes to the playoffs, what he does in 7-game series. So shout out to the Pacers. Everything else on the schedule, I've been looking at. I'm like, okay, it looks pretty decent. You feel what I'm saying? Like a lot of these teams, it's pretty much as you expect it to be. But dog, give me. That's the biggest point out to me. How the Pacers only have 8 national televised games. Shout out to the Pacers, y'all. Now, let me give y'all my NBA 2 early predictions. First things first, who I think is going to go to the NBA Finals and win it. I'm going to give y'all 2 teams per conference, and we're going to go from there. So now, in the Western Conference, you can't ever sleep on teams like the Nuggets, Thunder, Spurs, T-Wolves. Like, it's so many teams that you could choose from, right? But if you ask me, I'm going to Thunder coming out the West. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I know Wemby and them are up and coming, but if we look at that series last year against OKC and the Spurs, we went 7 games with them, and our number 2 and 3 option was hurt. We didn't have AJ Mitchell or J-Dub. So it's like we're getting them back fully healthy to start the season. Now, if they can stay healthy, especially going into the playoffs, dog, it's going to be a scary sight. It's going to be a scary sight because not only that, OKC has gotten better. We got Dave Mara coming out of Michigan, 7'3" center he's not, I'm not going to say like a Wemby mobile, but he's mobile enough to be able to move with Wemby. You feel what I'm saying? Not only that, we got 2 of the best 3-and-D guys coming out the draft. You feel me? One out of Kentucky, one out of Iowa. Like, I'm excited to see what OKC looks like this year because our bench has only gotten better. You feel me? We got Thomas Sober. He's coming back healthy off that ACL injury. So that's another center that we could move in behind Isaiah Hartenstein that can keep Chet playing the forward. You feel me? Like, this year for OKC, I think they about to come back with a vengeance. I think a lot of people are sleeping them now that the Spurs did what they did last year. I think that seeing LaMelo going to Minnesota, a lot of teams are like, fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, these gonna be our like, no. OKC, y'all, the window ain't closed yet. That's what I will say. The window is not closed yet. Now, my second team coming out the West with them, I ain't gonna lie. The Spurs. You feel me? Like, getting Tobias Harris, you bring a little vet over there that could play that 3, that could calm the team down. You feel what I'm saying? He gives y'all another scorer as well. So it's like, that's something they was missing. I don't know why last year they didn't play Harrison Barnes at all in the finals. That was something that low-key fucked them up. But give me the Spurs, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I definitely think that the Spurs could come out the West again this year and beat out a team like Minnesota. Beat out a team like the Nuggets. You feel me? Like, I think they're going to do it this year. I ain't going to lie. But they're going to run into OKC. That's the biggest downfall right there is OKC. Now, coming out the Eastern Conference, you can't sleep on Boston, y'all. You feel me? Like, you still got I know they got rid of Jaylen Brown, but that whole team is pretty much still there. And they picked up Mitchell Robinson coming from the Knicks. So that gives them a crazy boost on the offensive board. And somebody that can guard Joel Embiid. You feel me? So, my team coming out the East. First things first, you got to give me the Knicks, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I know I talked so much shit after the Knicks won that championship, but their team top to bottom is tough. And they retained everybody except for Mitchell Robinson. I know that's a big loss for them coming off the bench, but I'm telling y'all, the Knicks team is still solid even without him. So you could give me the Knicks possibly going for a repeat. You feel me? Like, the Knicks, I ain't gonna lie. Them repeating isn't crazy. I ain't even gonna cap. Now, the second team coming out the East for me personally, I gotta give it to the Pacers. You feel me? I think the Pacers are about to come back this season like, oh, y'all forgot about us. You feel me? The 76ers, don't get me wrong, they stack from top to bottom. But when you have a young team that's hungry, that flies around, that's defensive minded, just like the Pacers, and you just improve their center position, it's like, dog. Yeah, the Pacers, between the Pacers and the 76ers, you feel me? Like, I would put that 1A, 2A, 2B type shit. But me personally, I'm going to go Knicks and then possibly the Pacers. I know they'll probably meet in the second round some type of way, but whoever wins that, it's going to really be between those two that makes it between the finals, between the Knicks and the Pacers. And then my third team would really, really be that 76ers team. Like, you bringing Bron into a team that just lost in the second round last year without Jaylen Brown as well. Like, that's a scary sight out there in Philly. I ain't gonna lie. There's gonna be a lot of teams that's gonna have issues with them. But if you ask me personally, I think the Pacers can get them. I'm not gonna lie. I really, really believe the Pacers can get them. And I know I sound crazy now, but we just gonna have to see when it comes. But I promise y'all, I really think that the Pacers can get them boys. Now, let's go to a couple sleeper teams that I got coming up. You feel what I'm saying? And one of my main sleeper teams is the Trailblazers. Like, I know a lot of people they saw Ja go over there. They like, the Blazers, blah blah blah. No, you got to think about it. They're getting Dame back too, so that lets Denny Alvia go back and either Dame can play off the ball, some Steph Curry shit, or Denny Alvia can step back and actually just be a scorer. So, and then you got Scoot Henderson coming off the bench, averaging 18 points per game. You got Donovan McClellan, whatever. My bad, I'm fucking up his last name, but you still got some decent pieces. Jeremy Grant, a couple of decent pieces out there in Portland that I feel like will lead them over that hump. You can't always sleep on. Obviously, you cannot sleep on Ja Morant. You feel what I'm saying? We know what Ja can do when he's healthy. He takes Memphis from being a 15-win team to a 53-plus win team. So, shout out to the Portland Trailblazers. That's definitely one of my biggest sleeper teams. Another team would be the Suns. You feel what I'm saying? They just resigned Dylan Brooks. I feel like if they keep this little squad, get them a point guard to where Book doesn't have to keep playing that number one position, dog. The Suns could be a team that can make it to the second round of the playoffs. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, that's a little sleeper team for me. Another sleeper team, and this time coming out the East, the Raptors. You feel me? They made it to the playoffs last year. But I think that they're going to give whoever they play this year, especially if they make it to the second round, they're going to give them a run for their money. It's probably going to go 7 games, especially if they can get Kawhi. It's like, dog, I can see the Raptors doing something, y'all. For real, for real. Like, the Raptors possibly can make it to the playoffs and go deep this year as well. Now, my picks for MVP, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. This year, I think that we're gonna have somebody like Luka coming back with a vengeance. I think we're gonna have Ant in that MVP race. Wemby might fuck around and get MVP this year, especially if he can have another season like he had last year. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think, especially with the way that Spurs team is built around him, they're setting him up for crazy amounts of success. So give me Wemby as taking the MVP this year. I know last year it became out between him, Shea, and Jokic, but I think if Wemby can stay healthy this year, I'm not gonna lie, I think he's gonna get it, especially with the Spurs coming into themselves and being a 60-win team last year. I think they repeat that this year, and I think Wemby gets the MVP this year, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, like. I really think Wemby is going to take it this year. I know last year I thought it was too early, but this year might just be it. You feel what I'm saying? It's going to be his 4th year in the league. 60-win team, you feel what I'm saying? Leading the lead in blocks the way he does. I ain't going to lie, y'all. Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, I can see it happening, yeah. So that's my pick for MVP. Now, my pick for Rookie of the Year, give me Caleb Wilson. I think the Bulls are going to let him off a leash this year. I think he's going to be able to just experiment, do what he wants to do. And he's going to be the reason why the Bulls are either really good or really bad. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this either be a breakout year for him, or this could be a year where it's like, okay, it's his first year. He's still learning. So I ain't going to lie. Shout out to the Bulls. I think that Caleb Wilson will win Rookie of the Year. And the only reason why I say that over somebody like Daron Peterson or even AJ DeBanza is because AJ DeBanza is playing behind 2 superstars out there in Washington with Trae Young and Anthony Davis. So he might not get as many shots as he did during the summer league, but I think he still will have a solid rookie year. Daron Peterson, on the other hand, he's a winner. You get what I'm saying? I could see him coming into Utah and kind of changing their franchise around, especially with him being such a playmaker that can score as well. But I don't think he'll have a leash the same way. I think he will be on a leash, unlike Caleb Wilson won't be out there in Chicago, because they still have Laurie Markerman out there and Keontae George as well. And they have Ace Bailey too. So it's like, do you pull him back a little bit to still let them do their thing, or do you tell him this is your team, go off? You feel me? And with Ace Bailey only being in his sophomore year, it's like you can't really give the whole team to Darren Peterson already. So, with that being said, give me the Rookie of the Year to Caleb Wilson, and a close second will probably be Cameron Boozer, because he had a solid showing during the Summer League this year. So, shout out to both those players right there, but I think Caleb Wilson's going to take it. I think he's going to average at least 15 and 7 this year. So, shout out to Caleb Wilson. Now, y'all, let's get to opening day with the NBA, because it's going to be some games. Now, I got a little graphic for y'all that I want to pull up right quick. And, right. Let's get into this opening night, y'all. So, for opening week for the NBA, as y'all can see, here's the little lineup. I'm going to go through and get y'all my picks, y'all. So, for the first game, Celtics versus Detroit. Give me Detroit. You feel me? I know they're still searching for that second scorer. I'm not sure if they went ahead and re-signed Jalen Duren already, but it's one of those things like, I think Cade gonna handle business. You feel what I'm saying? And I think the Celtics still have to figure themselves out without Jaylen Brown. Don't get me wrong, they got Paul George, to kind of fill in that give us a little filler, give you about 18 or 19 points per game. But Paul George kind of ass now, y'all. If we being very real, Paul George is kind of ass now. So, give me the Pistons in that one. Now, 76ers versus Knicks. I know everybody's just hopping on that 76ers bandwagon right now because of LeBron, but give me the Knicks, man. The Knicks already established team. They know how they work with each other. We've seen their defense last year. Give me the Knicks. OKC versus the Spurs. Now, like I told y'all earlier, the Spurs, they're going to run into OKC, especially in the playoffs, and I don't see them beating them again, especially with everyone healthy in the 7-game series. So you can go ahead and give me OKC, because especially with them getting AJ Mitchell and J-Dub back, and you got two new, basically, playmakers and 3-and-D guys coming off the bench now. Give me OKC, y'all. I ain't going to lie. I think it's going to be a blowout right there. I'm not going to cap. Now, you got the Timberwolves and the Heat to get day 2 started. And this one, I'm going to Timberwolves. I think LaMelo and Ant, for their first showing, I think they're going to show out. For real. I think that we're going to see how this game right here will show how those two are going to click for the rest of the season. After that, we got the Warriors and the Lakers. I'm going to go Lakers just off the strength of Luka. You feel what I'm saying? And Luka being Luka, give me the Lakers, y'all. I ain't going to lie. So, to open up day 3, you feel what I'm saying? We got the Cavs and we have the 76ers. The Cavs, I think, are going to take this one. Yes, I do think the 76ers are going to drop their first 2 games. And it's only because you have to figure out how you plug in LeBron and Jaylen Brown at the same exact time. And with the Cavs, they're already an established team. They damn near got a new 3 Malik Thomas out there. And shit, I ain't gonna lie. I think the Cavs, they you know what I'm saying, they always come back really good during the regular seasons, and I think they'll continue that. Give me the Cavs in that one. Right after that, we got the Nuggets and the Thunder. Me being biased on this one, I'm going to take OKC, but I think this one can go either way. I think that the Nuggets last year, they had a lot of injuries as well. But give me OKC in this one. I think losing Peyton Watson for the Nuggets is going to be a very, very big loss for them. And yes, you got Christian Brown that can come in and kind of step in for Peyton Watson for a little bit, even though he already was starting. But I know he can expand his role a little bit more to make up for that loss. But give me OKC, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Give me OKC. And for the final day of opening week, first game of Friday would be the Knicks in Boston. I'm going to go to Knicks on this one, y'all. I'm not going to lie. Like I said before, we saw the Knicks defense. We saw how they click. They haven't lost anybody for real except for Mitchell Robinson. Give me the Knicks, y'all. And then for the Rockets versus the Spurs, give me the Spurs. I think this one's going to be a blowout. I think Wemby's going to handle business. Give y'all damn near a 30-10 game. Give me the Spurs. So, with that being said, man, opening night is going to be pretty fire. That whole opening week is going to be pretty lit. It's going to be a bunch of good games, a bunch of good teams playing against each other. I think a couple of them will be blowouts, but outside of that, it's going to be a solid opening week. You feel me? I think that teams like the Knicks and the Spurs, they're going to come back and pretty much show y'all, like, we're solidified. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? We're not coming back, and neither team has lost anybody for real. I don't think neither team is going to come back being in a slump or anything like that. I think they're going to pretty much pick up from where they left off. So shout out to both teams there. And y'all, last before we get up out of here, man. Russell Westbrook has retired from the NBA. Now, if you know me, you know that's the reason why I'm an OKC fan, period. You feel what I'm saying? Like, Russell Westbrook, between him and Derrick Rose, growing up as a kid, those were my favorite two players, like, of all time. Like, but we didn't have to go careers or stat just purely off who my favorite two players is. It would go Derrick Rose to Russell Westbrook. So to see Russell Westbrook finally hang it up, man, if you ask me, he's the real point guard. Mr. Triple-Double himself. Went out on top, especially with triple-doubles. Like, man, shout out to Russ, dog. Shout out to Russ. I still personally feel like he had a lot to give in the tank. I don't feel like he should have retired right now. I think he probably could have played another 2 to 3 seasons. But when you have only Sacramento and Washington offering you, it's like, all right, man, it's time to hang it up. You feel me? So shout out to Mr. OKC himself. You're the reason that I'm even an OKC fan to this day. You feel what I'm saying? I remember when KD left and he averaged his first triple-double. You feel me? Was going crazy, dunking on everybody, giving people 50-point triple-doubles. Like, if you know Russ, that's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Top 5 point guard of all time. You feel me? Of all time. No matter where you get your list from, Russell Westbrook should be in your top 5 all-time point guards. Ever. You feel me? So shout out to Russell Westbrook, man, and wish him the best on retirement. Hopefully we can see him in a coaching role or on more podcasts or even in the Big Three. You feel me? Like, I want to see it all. So shout out to Russell Westbrook. Wish you the best on your retirement, man. Now, with that being said, y'all, it's been a great episode. I can't wait to get this one out for y'all. I can't wait to see what both leagues are going to look like when the season start up, because both leagues have been crazy. All teams are balanced in both sides. NFL-wise, it's like, we back. Like, football is back, man, and I'm excited to see, especially what the Colts are going to do, man. Y'all know the Colts are my favorite team. I cannot wait. To see what this NFL season is going to look like. I feel like it's going to be super exciting. I think that it's going to be very balanced to the point we don't know who's going to win it all this year. Same thing with the NBA. Like, both conferences are finally balanced again. We got so many teams that can take it and take that NBA championship. Like, it's all for grabs. It's not like how we saw it before so many years of straight Warriors, or even years before that, like, where we had just a consistent team that we knew that, okay, they're going to make it to the championship. So shout out to both leagues, man. Like I said, y'all, it's been a great episode. I can't wait to get this out with y'all, to y'all. And like we leave out every episode, make sure you wake up every morning to being a great person. You feel what I'm saying? You're doing a good deed, some type of great something. You feel what I'm saying? Don't wake up with intentions to be a terrible person. I know things could be tough, but make sure you take accountability in any and everything you do, even if you don't feel like doing it wrong. And hey, y'all, make sure y'all subscribe, like, comment, and share this video with any and everybody to get this out there. And I'll be back with some more real soon, y'all. So tap in with us. Make sure y'all go watch past episodes and all, man. So I'll get it with y'all real soon. Peace out.
In this life that I'm living, I pray I make it through the night. As I ride through my city,